Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going, everyone? Welcome to episode number 1175. That's right, episode number 1175 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. Live today from the SF Bay Trail where the sun is setting. We've got about 25 minutes before the sun sets, and probably about I'd say about 45 minutes before it gets pretty dark. Hey there. Hey, babe. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally is in the house. We're back at the SF Bay Trail over here at Bear Island in Redwood City, California, where I live. GLM is second. Hey, GLM, how are you doing? Happy Friday to you. Today is day 7 of the GNA Positivity Challenge. And we're going to be talking about most people are predictable. So again, episode number 1175 of Walking with Purpose is day 7 of the GNA Positivity Challenge. And we're going to be talking about most people are predictable. And they really are. They really are predictable. Hey, Gordo, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. Now, no one really knows where this show is going to go, except myself. And maybe a few other people behind the scenes. But I've got some things to discuss here today. And I'm going to discuss them because they need to be discussed. They will be discussed in respectful ways, no matter how much other people try to spin them in their favor. Because, you know, when you have people on this platform that are extremely obsessed with you, in my opinion, and they follow your every single move. They watch every video or stream you do. They listen to every word you say. They make postings on every word you say. They make videos out of things you say. It is pretty disturbing, to say the least. It is pretty disturbing, right? And, you know, lately I've been ignoring a lot of the nonsense, and I'm not here to feed into any nonsense. What I'm here to do today is to provide clarity about what I'm going to be talking about. I'm here to provide clarity. That sun is really, really bright. Like, it is in my face. Even with the Ray-Bans on. Man, it's blinding. I got to cover that sun with my phone. So I'm going to be talking about some things today, and those things actually do relate to the topic of most people are predictable. Most people truly are predictable. Even if you think they're not, if you hang around someone long enough, you start to see their patterns. You start to see how they do things, how they live their life, how they talk to people. Right? Are they reasonable or are they unreasonable, right? Do you consider them to be a good, decent person, or are they spiteful and vindictive, right? You hang around someone long enough, you see all those patterns, and you can start to pretty fairly accurately predict what they're going to do next, right? You can pretty fairly accurately predict what they're going to do next, right? Yeah. So today, I'm going to talk about my court case a little bit. Now, I want to make it very clear at the beginning of this video, I am doing this for educational purposes, because I'm here to teach people the right way of doing things through my experiences. Okay? And at the same time, I have personally been living this. And I'm a human being, and no matter how strong of a person I am, even as a man, these things can take a toll on you, right? They can take a toll on you, right? And contrary to what other people involved in this case may be trying to lead me to believe that basically whatever I say will be used against me in a court case. Well, I mean, if I'm just talking about basic things that people can go and look up on the court website where everything is public that's been filed, then what's the difference? You know, if I'm talking about a publicly available case and I'm stating things that are either facts or as opinions, right? And I'm not defaming anyone's character. I have the right to share my thoughts, especially being on a shared platform out here like YouTube. And other people, in this case, on the other side, the defendant, is continuing, in my opinion, to put out information that simply isn't true or exaggerating the truth, right? And he's doing that because he needs to keep his audience alive. In my opinion, his purpose, at least that's probably how he feels about himself deep within, his purpose is leading people that follow him on his YouTube channel to believe that he's right and never wrong. And everyone else that feels has been wronged by this person, like myself, is always wrong and he's right. He flips everything in the exact opposite ways, which is what I'm trying to say as it actually happens, right? And when there are so many people that are hearing these false narratives, or even if new people come across these false narratives, it leads them to believe that I am the type of person that this person is trying to paint me to be just to keep up with his audience theatrics. All while being sued as the defendant. He's a defendant, I'm the plaintiff, in a circuit civil lawsuit, right? In essence, what I'm trying to say is he's not taking this seriously. He's playing it up for, audience preservation. Like I've said in the past, again, performance bravado, right? He has to lead his audience to believe that he's always in control. He's never wrong. He has to lead his audience to believe that I don't stand a chance to win the case. He's told his audience that I've been over-filing when, if you go on the portal and you see how many filings he's made compared to me, I believe he's made 34 filings. I've made 26 filings. And then he's had a non-party person trying to intervene that's a part of his community that he works in concert with, right? Collaborates, however you want to say it. She filed, I think it was 4 other pieces. So between the both of them, they filed 38 to 40 filings in this case. And I filed 26. And every one of my filings has been precise, concise, professional, and coming from stating the facts in a non-reactive and non-emotional way. Pretty much most of his filings have been emotionally reactive filings. And you can see it. You can see it in the documents that he's filing. And now listen. It doesn't matter whether you like me or don't like me. It doesn't matter whether you want to support this guy no matter what he does. Support him all you want. That's not the point. The point I'm trying to make here is right is right and wrong is wrong. You can still support someone, including him, and understand that he's feeding you a bunch of BS because to him, if it looks like he's losing control, which he is, if it looks like he's been boxed in, which he is, he boxed himself in my opinion, and I'm entitled to state that opinion. And if he wants to make a court filing saying that, in my opinion, I feel he boxed himself in based on his filings, he can keep filing all he wants. He's going to continue to flood the docket, right? And then, on top of that, I saw one of the commenters hang on. Yeah, listen, we'll address what the trolls are saying, but still ban them. We'll address your alleged spoliation of evidence. We'll talk about that because we're going to talk about it in court anyway, right? Because what you're not telling your audience, Mr. Defendant, is what they can just go and see on the portal themselves, right? You could tell them one thing if they go to the portal where all the documents are publicly available that have been filed, they'll see for themselves. They'll see exactly what I offered you. They'll see exactly how I responded. But the thing is, you don't want to be reasonable. You know why? Because being reasonable puts you out of business theatrically on YouTube. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. And that's the truth of the matter. You are using this case, in my opinion, for content. And you're trying to make it appear like I'm making lots of mistakes when the truth of the matter is it's quite the opposite. But you're entitled to your opinions, right? And so is your audience, right? And again, what really matters is what happens in court, right? But I say all this because most people are predictable. And sir, you are predictable. You are predictable. This is a great example of people being predictable. So that way you know, you can guess with almost like 80 or 90% certainty what's coming next. Right? Kind of like what you mentioned, ODN, a motion to compel evidence for discovery, right? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because after all the cards that the defendant in this case has played, he only has a few cards left. One of them is to file a motion to compel production of evidence, right? And him and his people have put on a narrative that, you know, I have spoiled the evidence, right? Spoliation of evidence, right? And that's quite the contrary. And they know it. He knows it, but he's presenting it to his audience as he's going to get me with sanctions for spoliation of evidence. That's the trailer park man pretending to be the other guy. It's one or the other. I don't really care. Just keep banning them and let's laugh at them, right? Yeah, come January 9th, you're you're already predicting the outcome is going to be completely 100% in your favor. That you're going to get the entire case tossed out, the motion to dismiss along with the anti-slap. When over the last, I'd say 3 weeks, you've given me a mountain of evidence to use at the hearing. And you can file those. You can file those too the proper way. You haven't. You can file notice of evidentiary, notice of preserving evidence for the anti-slap hearing. There's a proper way to file things, and there's an improper way to do it. And consolidating things as much as possible is preferred by the court because the court has a large docket, and you need to respect the time of the judge, the judicial assistant, and other people, the clerks and all, right? By trying to streamline the process as much as possible. This guy is doing piecemeal filings, in my opinion, on purpose to flood the docket and to not only overwhelm the court, but try to overwhelm me, right? And you don't think that the judge is going to see all of those piecemeal filings, right? And he already went to my live stream and said that's what he was going to do after I called him out on it with an account he shares with the other woman. Well, allegedly. Let's just say allegedly because we don't know that for a fact. We can highly assume it. And I'll say, in my opinion, I do believe that's him. But I said in my opinion. I didn't state it as a fact because I don't have hardcore proof. In my opinion, I believe it's him. There's a key difference stating something as opinion by saying in my opinion. Right? Anyway. So ODN says, I'm fairly certain it's him, and I'm fairly certain he shares the account with her. Okay. Well, I'll state it as an opinion. You can state it any way you want. We're two different, we're two different commenters, right? Okay. So, before we get back to this motion to compel production of evidence that I feel is coming next. Let's talk about the accusation of spoliation of evidence that the defendant has publicly stated on live streams and community postings. That is defamatory because it's not true. And he knows it. So why is he doing it? Audience theatrics. That's all it boils down to with this guy. He needs content. His audience wants content on me. And because all my filings have been proper and on time, and I haven't overfiled or underfiled, I've only filed where necessary, and it's been professional and not emotionally reactive. Okay? So, I'm being accused publicly of spoliation of evidence, right? Now, let me put it to you folks this way. How in the world can something be spoliation of evidence when I have the evidence privately stored on this YouTube channel? And secondly, I have backup copies of the exact same things. Man, he's really triggered. Oh no, that's you, Jackie. I thought it was him. He should flag his comments whenever he makes troll accounts, because then his other troll account comments won't show up. Okay, yeah, we'll do that from here on out. Thank you, Jackie. Great to see you here today. Okay, so it's not spoliation of evidence when one, yes, I did put around 200 videos to private on this channel. Number two, I have exact backup copies that I downloaded from YouTube of the exact same videos that the defendant accused me of spoiling the evidence. I have those. So first of all, I have them on private here, right? Secondly, I have backup copies. Third, I emailed the defendant, and this is all public court record. You can see it yourself. I emailed the defendant, I think it was 3 or 4 days ago, and I offered him to send me links of whatever videos that he needs that are no longer publicly available here, and I will re-upload them to my private coach.eliasmelas.com website. It's a public website, but when I upload links there, they're not publicly searchable, and you have to have the link. They don't get indexed. They're not publicly searchable. It's like having an unlisted YouTube link. So I offered him to upload all those files to my private server, and thankfully I have 1,000 up, 1,000 down fiber. I could upload them pretty quickly and get him the links. The links that he's claiming have been spoiled, right? I emailed him telling him, hey, I can give you screenshots of comments, and plus he has all the transcripts already. He filed and showed that he had transcripts of all the videos to show proof that I spoiled the evidence. But he already has the evidence, because how in the world is he going to run the transcripts? Well, he probably used a YouTube link to run the transcripts. But I'm sure he also has, in my opinion, I think he has backup copies. I think he's trying to do this for audience theatrics, in my opinion. But even if he doesn't have the videos and just the transcripts, he got the transcripts. He's so triggered. He's so triggered. I almost feel like I just want him to chat here and just let him. And I don't even know if that's him. That might be him. It might be the other guy, in the trailer park. Who knows? Anyway. So he has the transcripts. I re-upload the videos in their exact entirety to my private server, give him links to all that. Then he can update his links, because what he did on his court filings is use the YouTube links as part of his evidence. What I did was I downloaded all his stuff, uploaded it to my private server, and shared those links that cannot be destroyed. He had an opportunity to do that, but he didn't. He took the shortcut, the easy way out, right? But even then, I offered him the evidence. I offered him whatever he wants. Does he want screenshots of metrics? Whatever he wants. I offered that to him. I sent him an email. That's what you're supposed to do. It's basically, you need to confer. Meet and confer is what it's called. You need to meet and confer with the opponent. He accused me of spoliation of evidence. I offered him the evidence. Without even having to have a court order to give it to him. I offered him evidence out of the kindness of my heart. And you know what he said? He responded very quickly and said, I'm just going to wait for the court to decide what the right thing is to do. So wait a minute. You accuse me of spoliation of evidence. This is how contradicting you're going to appear in court. And I can talk about this. There's nothing wrong with talking about this. How contradicting you're going to appear in court. You accused me of spoliation of evidence. You run this big game with your audience. Eli spoiled evidence. Then I offer you the evidence. just not flipping my videos back to public, which is what you want, and I'll get to that in a second. I'll get to why you want me to flip them back to public. He does use a lot of troll accounts to leave himself comments. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, yeah, I think that's true, in my opinion. Yep. So you accuse me of spoiling the evidence, then I offer you the evidence. And guess what? You've got the transcripts already, and you could verify my re-uploaded actual exact copies that I would give you off of YouTube would exactly verbatim. Ramon, have a great weekend. Yeah, amen. Ramon's in the house. You could take those videos and verify them word for word with your transcripts that you downloaded from the originals while they were still public to verify their 100% authenticity. This is not spoliation of evidence. Putting videos to private to protect your channel from false flagging is not spoliation of evidence. That's exactly what I filed with the court. I made a good faith effort without court intervention to offer him what he wants, to give him what he wants. And he basically told me to shove it up my you-know-what because that's all this guy's ever done. Whenever I've tried to be reasonable with him and it doesn't suit his agenda of performance bravado to his audience, in my opinion, he doesn't accept anything reasonable, right? In the court of law, when you're reasonable, when one side is reasonable and the other side isn't, who do you think the judge is going to see as reasonable? Who do you think the judge is going to believe? The reasonable party that came to you and said, hey, look, yes, I did take down my videos. Yes, you accused me of spoliation of evidence. I did take down 200 plus videos like you said I did. You know what? Get the hell out of here, okay? Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb with your trolling. Don't sit here and try to, make things up just to have content, right? This is ridiculous. I have the right to protect my channel from false flagging, okay? My channel here, I didn't talk about it too much. My channel here, a little over a week ago, got a community guideline violation for something that I couldn't believe. I mean, I couldn't believe what it was for. It was for cyberbullying and harassment. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to, risk it again. I'm not going to do that. I didn't do it on purpose. I can't even believe what I said was considered that. And I appealed it. They denied the appeal. And I've tried to reach out to Team YouTube, but I haven't heard back from them. I'm going to reach out to them again. I'm going to try to get it overturned. But anyway, so one of the videos throughout all of this was taken down. Now, I've been able to preserve a copy that I got through YouTube Studio, and I had to screen record it from my iPhone. It's the only known copy of the video. He filed something on that video. So did he screen record a copy, or was he able to download one before it went down? Because by the time when I had just gotten up, I got the notification the video went down. Maybe he downloaded the copy beforehand. If you get a chance, okay, will do. Okay. Yeah, I'm able to flag comments here too. I can do them even while I'm walking. So he filed an exhibit on a video that was taken down and didn't provide any evidence besides what he wrote. So, does he have the evidence? And if he does have the evidence, then why is he accusing me of spoliation of evidence? Right? And again, I offered him to send me video links of what he needs that he's already filed or plans on filing in the next 14 days. And I'll gladly upload them to him, and I will host them. I'll host a streamable and downloadable link that's only available via the link throughout the entire court case. He said, no, I'll wait for the court to decide. Of course you will, because you don't want to be reasonable, because that doesn't sell to your audience, in my opinion. You don't want to be reasonable on any of this because it doesn't sell to your audience. It's pretty obvious that even your own audience is seeing right through you regarding how you're handling this, because what you're doing doesn't even make sense to your own audience, in my opinion, and it's, you can see it. You can see it, right? So he files a motion for sanctions and adverse inference. He's trying to put all these sanctions on me for something I didn't do. I have the right to put any video on private on YouTube to protect my channel from false flagging. Because here's the thing, in my opinion, this is exactly why he wants me to put these videos back to public. He wants, in my opinion, I'm stating it as my opinion because I can only assume, only you know the truth, but it makes sense. Why else would you want me to flip it to public when I can get you the entire exact copies that you can verify with the transcripts you already have? You want to falsely flag my channel and have your entire group of people falsely flag me. You want to try to take me down. That's the only logical thing that makes sense. And you know it because I offered you all the evidence. I'm still offering you the evidence. Even though you turned it down, I'm still offering you the evidence. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything that you want. It's going to be just like the case where you took me to get a stalking order on me. And you brought a paper to the court that you didn't file with the court. You didn't file it with the court. You brought an evidence binder. You didn't file it with the court. You're supposed to give me a copy of that beforehand. And since I was virtual, you were supposed to file that with the court. But you didn't. And Judge Bowie said, Mr. Melas, do you object to this evidence that blah, 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 that the petitioner has brought here to use today? And you know what I said? I said, no, Your Honor, I don't object to this evidence, any other evidence that he wants to present. I don't object to any of his witnesses. I don't object to everything, Your Honor. He can present whatever he wants as far as I'm concerned. And Judge Bowie's like, holy shit. This dude's like saying, hey, give him free rein to present whatever he wants. He could bring a donkey or an elephant into the courtroom for all he cares, right? Because the bottom line is, I knew this was bogus. So it's like, listen, I'm not going to object to any evidence because there's no evidence that's going to seal the deal on this. I didn't do anything. I didn't stalk the guy. I did not. Right? It's the same thing here. We're going to go to court, and it's going to be like, Your Honor, I offered him the evidence. He's accusing me of spoliation of evidence. And yes, I did put the videos to private. I also filed that in one of my many filings to respond to what he was doing. I filed a preservation statement that I've preserved the evidence. I met and conferred with the defendant. I emailed him, offering him all the evidence. What more can I do? How much more reasonable can I be, Your Honor? Judge Stacy. How much more reasonable can I be? Right? This defendant knows I'm being reasonable, but reasonable won't sell to his audience. Put a 1 in the chat if you firmly believe that reasonable won't sell to his audience, so that's why he has to be unreasonable. He knows I'm being reasonable. He knows that discovery rules. He knows that discovery rules don't force me to put private videos back to public when I have exact copies that I can re-upload elsewhere and give you the exact copies and authenticate them under penalty of perjury. And on top of that, this guy has the transcripts already that he can verify those copies verbatim. Give me an effing break. And to all of you out there that are buying this hogwash, come on. Don't you have better things to do with your time? Go check out the docket for yourself. And I got tired of being accused of spoliation of evidence, so I wanted to talk about this today because most people are predictable, like the topic says. Most people are predictable, right? This guy is absolutely predictable, right? With all the filings that he's filed over the last week or so. And I'm not going to get into all of them, but I can't even believe some of the filings that were filed. I can't even believe. Unbelievable, right? Again, I'm not going to get into every single one. But what I will say is that these files have no merit and they're redundant. They have no merit and they're redundant. How many times can you file the same thing over and over and over again? Right? How many times can you file the same thing over and over and over again, trying to say it in different ways to just flood the docket, overwhelm the court, and then overwhelm myself, the plaintiff, right? It's part of the strategy of this guy, right? Sir, it's part of your strategy to overwhelm and destroy, right? Overwhelm and destroy tactics, right? Overwhelm the shit out of people to the point of where they get so burnt out, they get so emotionally worn down, right? And they just say, screw it, I'm done, I surrender. I'm not going to surrender. And like I've always said, I'm 10 steps ahead of the game because I already know what's coming next. A motion to compel production of evidence. And in that motion, this is what I'm assuming. This is my guess. I'm entitled to my opinion. I'm assuming in that motion, he's going to try to force the judge to order me to put my private videos back to public. That's exactly what you want to do. So that way you can start a targeted false flagging campaign on me, right? Because I've got the evidence. I'm willing to send you a thumb drive. I'm willing to FedEx you a thumb drive. I'm willing to store it on my own platform. I'm willing to give you whatever you want for evidence. What do you want for evidence? You tell me, I'll give it to you. That's not what you want. You want the court, in my opinion, to force me to flip my private videos back to public so you can start a false flagging campaign and try to take down my channel. And in my opinion, how much more obvious can you make that? Because I can't be any more reasonable than I already am. I can't be any more reasonable than I already am. Now, I'm not the court. All I can do is assume, highly assume, that the court is not going to force me to put those videos back to public after seeing the docket and seeing what you've done to me and what your people have done to me, right? And especially after I offered you the evidence in alternative ways where you get the exact same things you want. You can't accuse someone of spoliation of evidence when, number one, the videos were never deleted, they're private, and number two, I'm willing to give you the evidence that you want even without court intervention. I'm willing to give it to you without you even having to request discovery on it. I'm willing to just give it to you. I'm willing to give it to you without you even having to ask the court for it. And then you denied that. I was willing to give you the evidence. You denied that because you want me flipping my videos back to public so you can try to falsely flag me. What other reason would it be? You want screenshots of the chats? I'll get them to you. And I'll attest to them under a penalty of perjury. You want metrics? Thumbs up, thumbs down? I'll get it to you. You want view count? I'll get it to you. Whatever you want, I'll get it to you. I'll get you everything, and I'll attest to it under penalty of perjury. But no, you don't want the same stuff off of YouTube. You want the YouTube videos back to public so you can start a false flagging campaign on me, in my opinion. Because you want retaliation, in my opinion. And that's why I'm seeking out a protective order to send you these links in alternative ways, and then to also state that these are for evidentiary usage only, litigation use only, no reproduction, no monetization, none of that, because that's what you do. So predictable, right? If you want to continue flooding the docket, oh yeah, this guy had some sock accounts saying by the time we get to the January, here's the thing, the real case hasn't even started yet. He filed an anti-slap and motion to dismiss. It put the case on halt. He hasn't even responded to my original complaint yet, okay? Or now it's the second amended complaint, so I did amend it. But the case is on hold because that's what anti-slap does. And the first available hearing wasn't until January for an hour, which is what we're going to need. So until that hearing happens and the judge decides what happens, the case is on hold. Now let's go further into this, okay? Let's go further into this. Now, he's filed for the spoliation of evidence. He's filed sanctions on me for spoliation of evidence, motion for sanctions, and I think it's adverse inference, right? And he requested a hearing for that. He has the right to request a hearing. Now, he filed like 7 filings within like a short period of time earlier in the week, like 2 or 3 days, right? 3 days. I decided to do a consolidation filing called an omnibus motion to strike, because everything that he filed had no evidence. It was all hearsay. No evidence, it was all hearsay. Everything was hearsay. To the best of my knowledge, stuff like that, right? To the best of my knowledge. I can say one thing right now. In my complete knowledge and certainty, I never said anything like that to anyone at any time. So I filed this omnibus motion to strike. Like his exhibits, like 43 through 48, and then a few others, right? And he had already emailed the judicial assistant to set up the hearing. And I was waiting to finish my omnibus filing and file it. And then you have the option to file a motion with the court to request a ruling on the papers, which means that, you know, you take his filings and you take my filings, especially my big filing, the omnibus, which has a proposed order, and then you request the court, which is the judge, to make a ruling in chambers without a hearing. You have the right to do that, right? So I filed all that, And then yesterday I emailed the judicial assistant and I said I wasn't. I was. I try to be as nice as possible because I know the judicial assistant has a lot going on, many cases, right? And she's got a lot and she's overwhelmed. I get it, right? I might not have been clear enough because I told her I filed to. Because we already have a hearing set. This would be the second hearing. And that hearing wouldn't be until like February 3rd, 5th, or 6th, which I believe the dates are, right? Which ironically is a month after the motion to dismiss anti-SLAPP that the defendant thinks is going to be fully dismissed. So here's the thing. The defendant thinks that the motion to dismiss anti-SLAPP is going to be fully dismissed and the case will be done. If he's thinking that, then why is he filing this stuff? Because all the stuff that he's filing is probably not even going to be looked at regarding the motion to dismiss and anti-SLAPP. The motion to dismiss and anti-SLAPP is based on the four corners of the complaint, if it's valid, right? And for the anti-SLAPP, I have to show that I have, legally credible proof of defamation of character beyond his claiming of it being freedom of speech. So all the evidence he's putting in there right now is not even going to be looked at that hearing. So is this guy saying that the case won't be fully dismissed and the case will survive after his anti-SLAPP motion to dismiss? If he's that confident that he's going to get my entire case thrown out between the motion to dismiss and anti-SLAPP that he filed on January 9th, 2026, then why is he scheduling a hearing for February 3rd, 5th, or 6th? You're contradicting yourself. You're contradicting yourself. You really are. What's the answer to that? Is it your backup, or is it because you want to be able to tell your audience that you now have 2 hearings filed on Eli, and even if he gets past the first one, then I'll get him at the second one? But wait, there's more. You're planning a third one, in my opinion. This is my opinion. I'm entitled to it. I'm not saying you're going to do this, but I think you will. I think more than likely you will, in my opinion, file a motion to compel production of evidence. And you're going to try to force the court to force me to put my videos back to public, even though I already offered you all the evidence without court intervention, right? You're going to file that, and then you're going to file the third hearing on that, right? You're going to try to overwhelm me with hearings and then go to your audience and say, look, I now have 3 hearings on Eli. I know how you work. You work on the theory of overwhelm the person to death and destroy him by overwhelming him, right? Overwhelm and destroy, right? That's your tactic, right? Remember, I'm 10 steps ahead of you, right? So I'm expecting your motion to compel production of evidence. And I expect you to put in that I use his YouTube links in my filings, and so he cannot put them to private. I don't owe you anything. This is my channel. I can put any videos I want to private to protect my channel. And then if you want that evidence, then you can ask me for it, and I'll give it to you. I offered it to you without you even asking. You went and filed all this stuff on the court, or within the court, because you wanted to go to your audience and say, look, I filed sanctions on Eli for spoliation of evidence. You want to look cool in front of your audience, don't you? Right? But I offered you the evidence. I'm still offering you the evidence. I have the evidence. I'm just not going to put those videos back to public and have you and other people harass in the comment section and also falsely flag my videos. to try to take my channel down. I think that's what you really want. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's what he really wants. He wants to try to take me down, and he's going to try to use the court to order me through a motion to compel production of discovery. It's going to be like motion to compel production of discovery items regarding spoliation of evidence or something like that, right? And then he'll specifically state that, yeah, I want him to just put his videos back to public because I use those links in my filings. I have legitimate reasons to protect my channel. I have the right to protect myself, right? And as long as I preserve the evidence, which I have, I can get it to you in any other way. I've already offered it to you. You denied it, right? You denied it, and then you kept on accusing me of the same thing. I offered you the evidence that you could verify with your own transcripts, that you showed the court in your filings that you have the transcripts. That means you can verify the copies I give you verbatim to your transcripts, right? Do you see how this is going to look? Do you see? The judge will ask you, well, why do you want him to flip it to public? He offered you the videos. And you have the transcripts. You can verify that they're word for word. She's going to see you have an alternative motive that I stated in my responses. Harassment and false flagging. And on top of that, accusing me of spoliation of evidence is defamatory. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel accusing me of spoliation of evidence when I have all the evidence and I've offered it to him is defamation. Spoliation of evidence is a crime. So you're accusing me of another crime publicly when I've offered you the evidence. Oh yeah, but that's not going to hurt you at the anti-slap. It's within your First Amendment rights to defame my character all the damn time, right? It's within your First Amendment rights to defame my character. Jackie says 1, ODN says 1. I know why you're doing this, in my opinion. Respectfully, maturely, professionally, Don says 1. Babe, we got a lot of shows to watch tonight, huh? We're not even really worried about this. I wanted to talk about this today because, number 1, it's a good topic. Number 2, I'm tired of this guy thinking he's going to silence me. He keeps talking about me all the time, right? And then he's trying to say that, every time if I talk about this, even in a professional way, he wants to file on me. File on me for what? For basically talking about the situation that's publicly viewable on a portal that anyone can see. You're talking about it, but basically you're talking about it in the opposite way of what's actually happening. You're stating to your audience the complete opposite of what's actually happening, that they can go verify themselves on the portal. And I don't know why they don't do that. Maybe they do. Maybe they know that you're spinning this out of context. And they don't care. If that's the case, whatever. Some people need more help than I thought. That's on them. Like I've always said, what matters here is what happens in court. Until we have our day in court, you're going to keep pulling your shenanigans for audience preservation and performance bravado. That's all it is. That's all. You're using this court case and you're flipping everything within this court case to suit the narrative of what your audience wants, because they validate, in my opinion, your existence on the platform. That's my opinion. I mean, hey, listen, might not be the nicest thing to say, but it's not defamatory. They validate you. You seek that validation, in my opinion. You need that validation. And when you feel boxed in my opinion, like when you feel boxed in, right, you got to run to them and show them that the opposite is happening compared to what's actually happening, right? So that way they can reassure you that, hey, you're right, the other guy's wrong, he's going to lose, right? He's overfiling, not you. No, it's quite the opposite. Go look at the numbers. You've got way more filings than I do. And when you include the ones that the non-party woman in your same state tried to file and intervene in this case not the proper way, between you and her, your filings total, I believe it's, I think mine are a total of 26. Let me see here. There's like over 40 filings. I think mine are 26, and between the both of them, they have over 40. There's some people coming. I'm going to hold off and wait for them to pass. Gordo says, I thought I would take the opportunity to thank Jackie and ODN for the comments on your channel. Yeah, absolutely. ODN says, I don't think he's going to file now that you called him out on it. It would be too embarrassing for him. No, I think he'll still file. I think he'll file just because he wants to try to overwhelm me, which is not going to overwhelm me because I put out a 45-page document responding to 7 documents in one, consolidating it for the court and having a nice proposed order. And I did that in less than 3 days, professionally. And because I have a system, it's a good system, and I'm very efficient, and I proofread, double check, triple check. I've got a system in place that works. I think he's still going to file it. If he doesn't, okay, that's on him. Whether he files it or not, no sweat off my back. I'm not losing any sleep. It doesn't make a difference. If he files it, in my opinion, it's only going to make his situation worse. Because then, in essence, he'd be basically filing on the same thing. All right? He'd be filing a notice of production when I've already offered him the evidence. I've already emailed him without court intervention. Do you understand that, ODN? Do you understand what I've done? I offered him the evidence. No, it's another stream about the truth. It's another stream about preserving the truth. You can have yourself a nice day, because the truth shall set you free. And the truth actually triggers you, because now your audience knows the truth. They know the truth. They're still going to take your side because they hate me more than they hate the fact that you're lying to them, in my opinion. Right? That's whatever. You can't change people like that. You can't change people that, like, only support someone because, like you say, they call it hate bonding, right? Oh, that's hate bonding at its finest, right? I think he's going to file it because it's probably one of the few cards he has left. All right? The bottom line is none of that's going to matter until after the motion to dismiss anti-SLAPP hearing. Of course I can prove that those videos are not edited because he has the original transcripts. He submitted to the court that he has the transcripts. He showed, I can prove that he took those videos down because here are the transcripts to them, Your Honor, the court. So here's the thing. You want to come in here and troll me on something stupid that I'll call you out right now. He has the transcripts. He can verify my videos verbatim, line by line. Nice try. Try again. You want to come in here and try again? Or are you triggered that this is not going to fly? And not only is this going to look bad in court, in my opinion, it's also going to make you look bad in front of your audience. Even if they pretend to be nice to you at your next stream and say, oh, Eli's just triggered. No, I'm not triggered. No. I'm not triggered at all. I'm all good. I'm about to get off the trail here, head back to the car. And my lady and I are going to have a nice dinner tonight, and we're going to watch some shows. And we're going to let other people make triggering postings on YouTube because they can't face the truth or handle the truth, right? And I'm talking about this because I have the right to defend things that are being said about me that are not true in a mass way. People have been, correct me if I'm wrong, ODN. Correct me if I'm wrong. But have you not seen them and heard them say many times that, there you go, have a good one, many times accused me of spoliation of evidence. They've accused me of spoliation of evidence. They didn't say, oh, I think Eli has spoiled the evidence. They've said Eli has spoiled the evidence, right? They accused me of spoliation of evidence with no proof. I have the evidence. I'm willing to give him the evidence. I'm willing to authenticate the evidence under penalty of perjury. Okay, I've already done that. I already filed my preservation notice, my sworn preservation notice on the docket. This is the funniest group of people I've ever encountered, right? I'm here, I'm walking with purpose right now. I'm not an attorney. But I'll tell you what, I'm handling this better than most junior attorneys would handle it. I got my case in my head. I can go right now in front of Judge Stacy and present this whole thing from my walk. I wouldn't do that. I'd be more professional from my office and nice background and nice outfit. But I could sit here and litigate this case walking here from my head. He's going to file it. He's going to continue to find piecemeal filings to file. Whether he files them or not, listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. If he keeps filing, it's just going to show his pattern even more. If he stops filing, there's already enough there. So look, I'm not going to worry about it either way. My purpose coming out here tonight is saying that most people are predictable. And when I say most people are predictable, the best example is I can tell you right now this guy's going to file a motion to compel discovery to try to get my videos flipped back to public because he wants to falsely flag me, in my opinion. And he wants to start a targeted false flagging campaign, in my opinion. That's my opinion. And you have done that before. You have told people to flag my videos on public live streams. And I've done the same thing years ago to you. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you feel someone is breaking the terms of service, you have the right to flag them. You also have the right to protect your content. I've got all your content downloaded and re-uploaded to my private server. I'm not counting on your YouTube links for evidence. I'm not counting on anything because you guys always would delete stuff or get taken down. I'm not accusing you of anything. I've got all the evidence I need. I'm prepared. You're not. You're unprepared. The videos, in my opinion, I feel you've already got them. You just want to do this for theatrics, right? I offer you the evidence. You deny the evidence. You deny me giving you what you want. You're filing sanctions on me, and I'm here saying, look, I've got the evidence. I'm not trying to conceal it. I'm trying to protect my channel. And I've got it here and I can give it to you. I'll upload it on my private server, give you links. You're all set to go. But you said no. Let the court handle it. Okay. We'll let the court handle it then. We'll let the court handle it. Right? I mean, I'm trying to be reasonable with you. Think about it. When you're dealing with the court of law, let me ask you folks in the chat here. When you're dealing with the court of law, what do judges appreciate more? Reasonable people or unreasonable people, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you feel that judges respect and trust reasonable people over unreasonable people. That's a stupid question, but we all know the answer, right? Reasonable people, right? So I make this guy a reasonable offer, more than reasonable, right? I offer to personally host this throughout the entire case. The exact links that I put to private. Everything else he's already got. He's got the screenshots. He probably even has clips and stuff. He just wants to reference the entire copy. Okay, I'm willing to give you those. But you said no. Let the court decide. Okay, how reasonable do you think you're going to come off in court? I see, here's the thing. It doesn't matter whether your audience thinks you're reasonable or not. Your audience will always take your side because I don't even want to get into that. But the court of law is not going to take your YouTube theatrics as reasonable. They're going to look at who's actually reasonable and who's not. They're going to look at the papers. They're going to look at your filings. They're going to look at mine. File whatever you want to file. Say whatever you want to say. As long as you're not defaming my character, I've never had a problem with you talking about me. You defame my character, I will file that. You talk a little crap about me, I'm not going to file nonsense. I'm only going to file defamatory stuff that's actually defamatory. I'll talk about the situation every so often when I feel like it. And if you don't like that, then you don't have to show up here and troll. Right? You can come here and troll all you want. I said, you know what? I'm here to help the trolls too now. Right? I'm giving you a place to vent out your frustration. Your Goose Fraba moment, like in anger management, right? Goose Fraba, right? We are at 68 minutes, an hour and 8 minutes. We're going to go off the air in just a few. Yeah, I mean, he usually goes live on Friday nights. When he doesn't post a lot and go live for like a 2-day period or so, then you know he's working on a filing. So I expect something to hit the docket either tonight or tomorrow or over the weekend, right? It's okay. I don't care when it hits the docket. I'm ready for it. Whatever you file, I'm ready for it. That doesn't mean I'm going to respond to everything. If it's worthy of responding, like if it's defamatory or something that warrants a response, I will. If it's another exhibit of the same nonsense, I'll just collect it. And then at some point when we have like 5 or 10 of them, I'll combine it all into one and I'll file it at that point, and then it'll be much more reasonable, right? Now, if you want to file this stream, and then you could play this stream for the judge, and all I'm saying is, hey, this is the proper procedure of how to file in a civil case. Don't overwhelm the court. Don't file nonsense. Don't use the court as YouTube theatrics and then tell your audience the complete opposite of what's going on compared to what they can actually see publicly on the court website where the files are publicly available for anyone to see. Like, you contradict yourself with the evidence that's out there publicly filed by the both of us, and even a third-party, non-party friend of yours that tried to intervene in the case earlier this year. Don't forget about that. Right, and for me, just speaking the truth and just having my say and protecting myself and sharing with my audience that what they're saying is not true, and I have the right to protect myself, so that warrants it. That warrants it warrants sanctions on me to have my freedom of speech, right? This guy won't leave me alone. He watches everything I do. He follows me everywhere. Okay? Like this is what he does. He watches everything I do. He follows me everywhere. So if he's going to keep doing that, I got to do what I got to do to protect myself, my audience, and protect whatever. And this is not something I want to talk about every day, but when it's warranted, like I could have talked about this last week, but I waited for the right time. And yeah, today was the right time. Correct me if I'm wrong, ODN. It's been a great day. Today was the right time. Even ODN will tell me when I'm wrong. My girlfriend will tell me when I'm wrong. Sandra and Tia will tell me when I'm wrong. There's nothing he can file to make you look unreasonable. I would have to agree with you on that, ODN. That's a lot of work. I do it the old-fashioned way. I type it in LOL. Reasonable people, says Jackie. No, you are right. Even if he does file something, I wouldn't worry about it. No, I mean, he can file whatever he wants. I expect him to file. I expect something to hit the docket tonight, maybe a couple documents tonight, maybe a couple or one tomorrow. I'm sure, if I had to guess, I'm pretty sure something is coming this weekend. Whatever it is, we'll deal with it at that time. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. All I want is the defamation to stop. I want the harassment and defamation to stop. That's all I've ever wanted, is the harassment and defamation to stop. But it doesn't stop. It hasn't stopped. And it won't stop unless the court grants me relief for it to stop. Hey, you know what? Listen, we're on YouTube. Whatever. I'll share my opinion. At least my girlfriend is at home waiting for me to come home to her. At least I'm not going to watch TV or watch a movie with my lady over the internet hundreds or thousands of miles away. I'm going to be right there next to her with our dogs. I mean, you can come in here and troll me with the guy's internet girlfriend, and it's like, listen, whatever, you want to have an internet girlfriend, that's on you. Like, no one's telling you, I'm not telling you what to do. Do I think it's weird? Do I think it's bizarre? It's bizarre. That's my opinion. That's not defamatory. I don't care if you think I'm bizarre. I don't care if you think I'm an idiot. What I care about is defamatory statements, like accusing me of embezzlement, accusing me of spoliation of evidence, calling my business a fraud, calling me a fraud. There's no proof of that. Where's your proof? And you stated these as false statements as fact. You never said opinion. It was never hyperbole. None of that. I mean, come on. You have a lady that loves you and lives with you. He is suspect. I think him. Well, that's your opinion. I don't know what's going on with him in his relationships or care to know. It doesn't matter. It's none of my business. I really don't care. What I care about is his defamatory statements and harassment. That's it. Anything else, I don't care. He can talk about me all he wants. He can talk all the smack he wants about me. Just don't defame my character. and don't harass me or harass my people or defame them. It is what it is. I'm going to come over here just one more time, and then we're going to call it a night. I don't think he really likes the fact that we called out what he would have done. If he doesn't do it, it will be because, in my opinion, it will be because we called him out regarding the motion to compel production of discovery regarding spoliation of videos. Comes now, the defendant, blah, 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 and states this motion to compel, production of spoliation of videos. The defendant states that the plaintiff should be forced through court order to flip videos from private to public because the defendant has already entered them into evidence as links attached to his public YouTube videos, as links to his exhibits. The defendant has no other backup sources. Well, I'm sure he does, but they'll probably put that in there, in my opinion, right? Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and file plaintiff's opposition to defendant's motion to compel production of videos, blah, blah, blah. The plaintiff, Mr. Melas, met and conferred with the defendant through email, offering him emails privately hosted, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know what? If you want to send Judge Stacy my entire back catalog of the mistakes I made, at least I admit my mistakes. Yeah, I mean, whether you're the what do you call it? Whether you're the trailer man or the actual defendant, either one, it doesn't matter. If you want to send Judge Stacy my entire YouTube catalog, what does that have to do with this case? What does it have to do with the defamation I've already proved? What does it have to do with the malicious prosecution I've already proved in my complaint? What does it have to do with the abusive process I've already proved in my complaint? What does it have to do with intentional infliction of emotional distress that continuously proves itself each and every day? So yeah, if you want to send Judge Stacy my entire back catalog of YouTube channels, do you think she has time for that? Do you think that you're going to scare me by saying, oh, I can't wait to see what happens when Judge Stacy sees Eli's prior YouTube videos from 8 years ago when he was, starting off and didn't know the ropes as well. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I'm going to say in that situation? I'm going to say, Your Honor, in respect for the court's time, objection, relevance, right? And I cannot wait till we get to that hearing. It's going to be objection, relevance, objection, speculation, Your Honor. It's going to be amazing. I mean, I'll tell you. There are going to be so many objections. It's like, and you know what? I might not even object. I might just say, hey, you know what? Just let him talk, because him talking will just speak for itself, right? Hey, I'm just being nice. Him talking will just speak for himself. I won't even have to object. He can just speak for himself, right? That's more than enough. HP thinks your laugh is so stupid. Okay, great. I really don't care. It doesn't even matter. None of them are relevant to me. Like, I don't hate anyone. I don't wish harm upon anyone. But it's like, I don't care about these people. They're goofballs. They're goofballs on YouTube that have internet relationships and watch movies over the internet, and they call it a date when they're hundreds or thousands of miles away from each other. I mean, really, come on. And that's my opinion. First Amendment protected speech. That's real opinion right there. I'm not defaming you. I'm stating the facts. That's what you're doing. You say it yourself. Oh, Deanne, let me ask you. Did you enjoy this show? I don't have to ask my lady. She loves all the shows. But let me ask you, Deanne, did you enjoy the show? Deanne says, he doesn't have a girlfriend, dude. She won't even be seen with him in public. She's embarrassed by him. She wouldn't let any of her real friends see her with him. Good stream, says Deanne. That's your opinion. Yeah, I mean, you could be right. That's your opinion. Honestly, for me, I really don't care. I don't. I absolutely don't care. I mean, if these people want to have internet girlfriends, it's all on them. Thanks for another angry Eli show. I'm not angry at all. I'll tell you this. Here's the thing. Let's say that's the defendant, right? Let's pretend that's the defendant that just put that. Thanks for another angry Eli show, right? You're projecting onto me how triggered you are because you know that I know your entire game plan. I've known you so long, I know your next 10, 50, 100 moves, right? We know that motion to compel production of evidence. Whether it comes now or not, that's what was next in line. We know that. And the fact that we're able to just figure out by just using common sense and deductive reasoning what you're going to do next, or what you're, because there's only a few options you have left. There's only a few things you can do before you start to look really, really bad to the court, right? In my opinion, right? So I'm just saying, okay, what else could this guy do? What else can this guy file right now? And then try to get a third hearing, right? Let's talk about this one last time. So we're going to have two hearings now. We're going to have two hearings now. One in January, one in February. Right? And we have until January 14th at 12 Eastern to let the judicial assistant know what days work, right? So between today and that date, I'll once again meet and confer, which is what they call it, with the defendant. And I'll let him know between now and the 14th, between now and next week before the date, what day works. I got to figure out what works for me. I got to look at the schedule. I got to figure out what works for Dawn. I mean, pretty much all 3 dates should work no problem. But before I decide on one of them, I mean, there's a preference on the third, but I want to just double check that before I finalize everything. And so that's going to be hearing number 2, and then this motion to compel production of evidence or whatever, that would be hearing number 3. But if that was going to be used for YouTube theatrics, saying, look, welcome to blah 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 blah. Ooh, someone's going to be really overwhelmed with with hearings. We've got the January 3rd motion to dismiss anti-SLAPP, and then we have the February 3rd, 5th, or 6th regarding the spoliation of evidence. And then we're going to have the motion of production of the spoliation of evidence, right? Another hearing, or maybe what he'll do is consolidate that into like the February 3rd, 5th, or 6th hearing, right? But see, he doesn't want to consolidate. He wants to overwhelm and destroy, because when he makes it overwhelming, it sounds more damning to his audience, right? Come on, man. Come on. I had to make my audience aware tonight. I had to put it out there that to people, even people that I know and care for, have reached out to me and saying, "Hey, did you spoil evidence?" Like I've had people ask me that by email, right, and other messaging means. So I felt this was the right time to come out and say, "No, look, this is what's going on." I've already discussed this behind the scenes with the people that are close to me, right? And it's not that I wanted to even go public on it, but it got to the point of where people were starting to believe the defamatory statements of saying I spoiled evidence that had been amplified by the defendant and his supporters and other people that he collaborates with, other creators he collaborates with, have been amplifying that, right? Anyway, time to go. 87 minutes, an hour and 27 minutes. I have a lot of love for all of you. I'll be back tomorrow for another walk. I actually feel really good. Have a great night and weekend. Remember, we are all worth it. Babe, before I go here, can you let everyone know, what did you think about the show tonight? Later, says ODN. What did you think about the show, babe? Did you enjoy the show? Was it reasonable? Did I clarify everything for the good people that were even questioning if I was spoiling evidence or not? It's spoliation. Wonderful show. Thank you, babe. It's not even. It's actually pronounced spoliation, but people say spoliation for. It's shorter. It's like it's spelled differently than like a spoiled rotten tomato or something like that, right? Or like a spoiled brat, right? Okay. It's spoliation of evidence, right? That hasn't happened. The evidence is still available. Defendant, I am publicly putting it out here that I am still willing to give you all the evidence that you want, that you're trying to place sanctions on me for, right? And you want to play this for the judge, that I publicly went out there and said, listen, I'm willing to give you whatever evidence you want. But you don't want the evidence because the evidence kills your YouTube theatrics, right? You want to keep playing it up like, oh, Eli's a criminal, and now he's more of a criminal. You know, first Eli embezzled money from the former company he used to sell insurance from, which that never happened, and now he spoils the evidence. Now he's a criminal within the court in this hearing, right? So that's the narrative you want to keep pushing through. Let's see what happens in court. With that being said, have a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Love you all. Good night, everyone.